Hi there and welcome to this reading. I am very excited. Today I've got the question of what's going on right now, where did you come from, where did you go? Expect me to make a joke regarding a song when it comes to this in each of these readings. But for now, I want you to just go within and see which one of these three cards calls for you. Pile 1, for you I have the Orion Animal Tarot represented here by one of its cards. For Pile 2, we have the Sufi Tarot, and Pile 3 is going to be the Tarot of the Divine, which has fairy tales. So, animals, Sufism, or fairy tales, which one calls you the most? Whichever one it is, you can go down into the description box and you'll find a timestamp taking you to your reading. And if more than one feels right, then listen to those. Take what makes sense and leave what doesn't. That is definitely the way to go about tarot. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon in your reading. Hi there and welcome, Pile 1. Thank you for joining me on this reading, where we're exploring where you're at the moment, and just checking out where you've come from and where you're going. And just get a general gist of things. I'm very excited for this. You've chosen the Orion's Animal Tarot. So let us do a very simple 3-card spread. This isn't going to be a very in-depth reading, but more of just a little message in between things, because honestly, it's been a busy one. Okay, so that's our first one. That's going to be our present. Okay. For Pile 1, can we get one for the past? Okay, and where is Pile 1 going? Where are they heading towards? Pile 1? Like this card. Okay. Good. Let me just put away the cards and then let's get into it. Oh, exciting. Pile 1, it's been a while for me in terms of recording tarot, and I'm very excited to be doing this with you today. So let's see. Pile 1, where have they been? Death. Wow. Okay. Rebirth. Something has come to an end. And it might have been very, very scary. Like this is right now, it's almost like you're in this state of being reborn at the moment. Let's see where you came from. We'll talk more about all of this in a second. The Page of Wands. The page is always striving to learn something. When it comes to the Page of Wands, that's someone who's trying to learn how to love themselves, but also how to give love and how to use their own power. Ultimately, the wands are the spark that light the flame. They're the fire when it comes to the elements within the tarot. And with it being on its head, it looks like this has been something that was very difficult for you. So this might have been something that you've been actively working on. So you might have gotten to a point now where you've learned it. And the page in your current situation might be upright and not on its head, if that makes sense. So you might have come from a place where you very insecure or dealing with insecurities that are holding you back from actually engaging in your power that you know you have. And not just in your power, but also in regards to love. Because for me, the passion, it's the passion that lights the flames. And I can see that, there's maybe a fear to really engage with the fire element because you're scared of getting burned potentially. But with the current rebirth, and I know that's the death card, but honestly in tarot, when we're looking at death, we are immediately looking at it through the lens of it being reborn. And I can see that you seem to have managed to get over whatever was going on here, but let's see where you're heading and we'll figure out more. Obviously right now we're still very vague on things. The 7 of Cups, interesting. Okay, so the 7 of Cups is about illusion, in the sense that there are so many things all around you that you don't even know where to look. And this could be opportunities that are coming in now, where before you might have had a sense of a lack or feeling of lacking more prevalent in your perspective on life, let's put it that way. You might be entering a phase of your life slowly in which there is way more to choose from and you'll have a lot of opportunities coming your way. But it might be so much so that you actually don't know what to do. And the Seven of Cups is very much connected to being in a very foggy place and not really knowing what to do, where to go, where up and down is. But I think in your context, this might be a very positive thing because, again, it might be from a place where you didn't have these things and now you have them and maybe you just don't know how to handle it, if that makes sense. But we'll look into it a little bit more. What is connecting, for pile 1 please, the past to the present? What is connecting? Okay. And what is connecting the present to the future? I do want to take a moment here to just chat to you for a second about the concept of time. Very slow, very quickly. I'm not going to bore you, but just I personally don't subscribe to linear time. And when it comes to tarot, I feel like sometimes it really can show you how it doesn't really work that way. It's not like one thing happens then the other and it's this chain of cause and effect, but it almost seems like the future influences the present and the past equally and vice versa, and it's just a constant symbiotic thing. At least that's how I see it. So I do believe by looking into the past and into the future, or looking at any time really, we can learn things regarding the other times. So either the future, the past, or the present. I hope that made sense. But let's look into what is connecting them, because that's why I'm saying this, because all of this is one anyway. So we just got to figure out what the story is. We got to figure out what the plot is. The script, if that makes sense to some of you. The Hanged One. Wow, okay, on its head. And the King of Swords. These are some very, very strong energies, Pawan. You have been dealing with, I'm guessing, some major life changes. So, and if nothing's changed yet, it might. Because we're talking about energies that encapsulate more of life in general rather than situations. By having a court card, you've got 2 card cards, you've got 2 major arcana. You only have one that is a very simple card. So that's very interesting. Seems like this is not just a situation in time, but this is talking about bigger themes in your life that you've been trying to overcome. With the Hanged One, so the Hanged Man, well, this one has been resurrected. So the Hanged Man always speaks of sacrifice. It is related to the myth around Odin or the Buddha. The idea of taking as much time as necessary and sacrificing as much as necessary to gain something from it. Normally wisdom, specifically spiritual wisdom. And with this being a resurrected hangman, you might have been coming out of that phase, right? So you had to go into almost like a cocoon where you had to isolate yourself and go within and do a lot of introspective work that led you to this point where you're now ready to let go and move ahead to the future. What is in the future for you? What is the transition going to look like to the 7 of Cups? Which again, yes, it speaks of illusion. It speaks of a lot of just haze. But there's a lot of good in there as well. You know, it's really, you know, when you don't have much and then suddenly you're given, like you never have any lollies, then you get all the lollies in the world. You're going to overindulge in a way, or not know where to start, not know what to pick. And that's kind of the energy we're in. It's getting to a place of abundance, specifically emotionally, but not knowing how to deal with that, if that makes sense. With the King of Swords, it says the king is the master. So the King of Swords is the master of the mind. He's the master of the logical, rational thinking, of making sure everything is thought through and properly set. Like the King of Swords would probably be the greatest chess player, because he would think every single move out and make sure to set all the pieces where they need to go. Maybe for some of you, chess is something that you can relate to as well. Maybe you play chess. But in general, this is very much going the analytical, logical road to achieving something that you've been working on. So yeah, maybe you've gone within, and for you to materialize things externally, there has to be a bit of rigidity to it, a bit of structure to it. And I don't know if you're a big fan of structure. I know I struggle with it, but it can really help you guys. It can can make a big difference. That's super, super interesting. But let's see. Let's pick some oracle cards now, because again, we're going to keep this one short and sweet. I kind of just want to give you a quick look into what's happening and just see if it resonates to you, if you feel like your reality is being confirmed, what you are sensing or going through. Because ultimately that's what tarot is for. I truly believe it's a tool for us to know ourselves better. By recognizing these archetypal energies within our own selves and our lives, we can really use that to our advantage, because we kind of know how the story goes. Like if you're a writer and you understand how archetypes work, you kind of already know how the story has to go for it to be a good story. Does that make sense? So if you want to go here and you understand all the things that go in between, it'll be much easier than not having any instructions. But not to take this as instructions, but more like confirmations of what you already know within. But yes, can we have just some messages? Spirit, you decide how many we're taking. Okay, 1, 2. This one wanted to be flipped already, but we will wait. Can we have one more? For symmetry's sake, thank you so much. Thank you. I think symmetry is very important during tarot. This is my personal belief. Like, take it with a grain of salt and do tarot however you please to do it. I truly believe that that's our way to actually knowing ourselves, is trusting that we know how to do this and you know how to do this. If you ever feel like called to pick up a set and learn, please do. If you're ever interested in me explaining tarot in a way, I'd love to. Just let me know. But for now, let's see. The answers you need are coming. Step out of your comfort zone. And communication is key. Look. Gemini. Yeah, this is very mental. This has been running through your head. Like, whatever's going on, I feel like you're in this moment of rebirth, right? Let's make sure you see that. Can you still see it? Death. You're in this moment of rebirth, but you're very scared and you don't really know which way the toast will fall, if that makes sense. With Gemini, it's very much going left and right and just constantly. That's why you have the two heads going between different opinions and mindsets. So the communication is key, and the answers you need are coming. This is almost like you have to talk to yourself a bit more. I think that's the thing. If you have found this reading, everyone does tarot how they please to do it, and that's amazing. And I'm sure, I genuinely believe if you find something, it's meant for you. If it resonates. If it doesn't, it's not meant for you, and that's fine. When it comes to my readings, I very much want you to leave it feeling like you have gained more trust in your own gut feeling. And I do believe that when it comes to both of these coming up, the full moon in Gemini and the new moon, it's kind of like you have to trust yourself. You have to trust what's coming up and listen to yourself. You have the answers, they're within, but you get bamboozled, if that makes sense. And with the North Node coming up as well, the North Node speaks very much about karma. The idea of where are we going? The North and the South Node are kind of where we come from and where we're going, right? The North Node is where we're heading, ultimately. So if you're currently in this idea, and this is energy of rebirth, restarting something, letting go of something else, you need to step out of your comfort zone, because the old is still your comfort zone. That is the next step you need to take. So if, for example, what we were saying about having a more rational approach, a more logistically sane, analytic approach, I think that's kind of potentially out of your comfort zone. But this can really help you get to this place of, in a way, abundance. But within this abundance, you need to hold on. No, I see it. Okay. You need to hold on to the beliefs and the thoughts you've had when you started the journey. This is all connected. Do not be swayed by all the shininess that might be ahead. Okay? Hold on to your deepest beliefs. That's it. That's it. I can feel that is the message you needed to hear today, and I think we're gonna cut it short now. We'll still do a few messages if you've been here before. I always like to give a little written message for you to go about your merry way. So let's do that. But yeah, Pawan, things are looking good. You've been doing a lot of hard work, and I know what it's like to not believe in yourself. But you are worth yourself putting that energy in. You are worth doing all of this. You can bring so much joy to yourself and to other people in this world and in your lifetime. And you're on the right path. You just got to keep going. Got to keep going and accepting that things will change. You cannot hold on just because you feel uncomfortable not knowing where you're going. Okay? Things are going to be good as long as you hold on to your whys. Why are you on this journey? Why are you working on the things you're working on? If you keep that in mind, if you keep your lessons and your sacrifices in mind, and you have a bit more of a structured approach at life and at achieving your goals, I think you are going to the stars, my friend. I hope you can see that. Let me see if I can focus. Okay. In stillness, I find my center. Okay, so for some of you, maybe meditation is a thing that would benefit you at this point. Just being in quiet, embracing the discomfort. Okay, that's it. You feel uncomfortable when it's quiet. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You don't really know what to expect. If you have a sound, you have loads of sounds around you, you can block them out, and it feels more like you're in control. It's easier to block something out than to sit in this unknown feeling of like, oh, at any point now there could be noise. So yeah, meditation might be something that could help you get out of your comfort zone and finding the voice within that knows what's going on right now. You need to work on your communication, friend. Yes. I'm just going to leave that there. You need to work on your communication. It's been coming up. You need to work on the communication you have with yourself. So maybe working on some self-compassion might be helpful, as well as the way you communicate to others. But I truly believe that this is more of an internal issue. You are not trusting what's coming through within. And you just keep flip-flopping. So you need to work on your communication to try and discern where the illusions are. Yes, that's it. Okay. And last message. Time to have a good laugh. Pawan, you've been working. I hope you saw that, by the way. Sorry, I've been opening it too fast. But Pawan, I just want to say you've been doing wonderfully. Wonderfully. Well done. It's been a rough one, and you have persisted. You have now reached a point where things might be a bit scary because the unknown is waiting for you. But you know what? Maybe you just need to chill out for a bit. Enjoy, have some fun. You've been really, really in your head about all this, which is very understandable, but you can do both. You can still work on where work is needed. You can still push yourself, but you also need to enjoy life. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just striving towards something, and if you never get there, when are you ever enjoying life? Anyway, pile 1. This was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my chatting about and that I hope I made sense. Honestly, I haven't recorded a video in a while, so you're pile 1. You're the first ones. Very grateful to have you here, and thank you so much for watching. And I wish you the best. See you soon. Hi there and welcome, pile 2. You have chosen the Sufi tarot, so expect some Arabic words that I will mispronounce. But today we're looking into the question of where are you at right now? Where did you come from and where did you go? Good night, Joe. I find it very hard to not say that after saying where did you come from, where did you go? But anyway, we're going to look into that, pile 2. And the card you picked is going to be our present. We are now going to pick our past and our future, okay? Let's see. How is everything connected? And I already said this in pile 1, but I'm going to repeat myself because, you might not have heard pile 1. But the concept of time, I personally don't believe it to be linear. I think we perceive it as linear, but it works in a more complex way, in a way where it all is tangled up together. So when we do readings like this, it's very much about understanding these connections and seeing how everything correlates to another, finding the story behind the life. So let's see. Pile 2, where are you at? 8 of Staves. Okay, something's happening really fast. Things are moving and you're like, you might be feeling like you're crashing, but in a good way, potentially. We'll see. But I do feel like it's more of a good thing. But it does feel like you're kind of you're like in an airplane and you are reaching the ground very quickly. You are getting closer very, very quickly. Things are moving fast. Doesn't mean you're going to crash. It just means you might be a bit stressed and adrenaline might be running high. But let's see. The 8 of Staves in general is a very positive card because it does mean things are moving. The energy is moving. Things are happening. But let's see. Where did you come from? The Son of Swords. Interesting. And the 4 of Swords in reverse is your future. Okay. So in this deck, when we're seeing the sun, we are looking at what in tarot is called the Knight. The Knight is striving towards something. He's moving towards something. And out of all the Knights, out of all the suits, the Sword Knight is the fastest. This is someone who is motivated, energetic, and going towards something. And very specifically with the swords, we're speaking of the mind. So this is trying to get ideas across or trying to reach a certain headspace. With the Son of Swords right here and the 8 of Staves next to it, I feel like, let me just move this. Sorry, it's not symmetrical, you guys. I'm sorry. I hope it is now. But I do feel like there's been a lot of movement. You've been doing a lot for things to move ahead quickly. And this is great. Things are moving. Things are happening. But where is it leaving you? Because the 4 of Swords, again, do you see how we have another Swords? This is very much, you've been working your mind hard, okay? The 4 of Swords, let me see if you can see, yeah? Speaks about resting, and this is on its head, okay? The 4 of Swords is the eye of the storm. It is someone who has already gone through a lot. Now he's taking a rest, which is very, very important, so he can actually move on to doing more stuff and fighting more and doing more things. And I feel like, pile 2, you struggle to take a break. You struggle to take a breather. You feel like you have to get it done right now. And we're going to see as to how that is all connected. But yeah, it looks like you're coming from a place of really working hard to get things done, and specifically working on ideas and getting your point across, or even changing your mindset might be something some of you can relate to being now in a state where you are actually seeing the fruits of your labor in a way. Things are happening fast, but you are heading towards a sort of burnout because of it, because you're not able to take a break. So let's look into this, okay? Let's get a few more cards. So we're going to do it. Wait, now I'm going to move it up again. I'm sorry, you guys. But here we go. So what's the connecting energy between the past and the present? What is happening past and present? It's this card. This card's been telling me, pick me, pick me. It's not telling me anything. I just feel it is. That's what I want you to practice, by the way. Like just trusting your intuition. I think you know, especially if you feel called to my readings, because I very much am all about like encouraging you to trust your intuition and work with your intuition and just sensing out what's happening within. So yeah, maybe that's something that you can relate to. I don't know. I did lose my train of thought there for a second. Maybe you tend to lose your train of thought because you're just thinking of so many things at the same time, which I can relate, makes sense. But anyway, let's see. What are the connecting energies here? You have, you're being connected by the Malika of Coins, the Queen of Coins. And here you have the Two of Staffs on reverse. Okay, interesting. Right, let me make sure this looks good. Cool. So with the Queen of Coins, the Malika, and please, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this, but the Malika, the Queen, is someone who is a protector. Someone who makes sure things behind the scene are working out. And this is specifically related to the material world. So you might have you've transitioned from the past to the present through taking care of your resources. Maybe being a bit more systematic about where you're putting your money in, where you're getting money in as well. And just having a bit more of a structure to your material world. And it being the Queen, it's very much from a sense of wanting there to be abundance, not just for yourself, but also for other people. So some of you might be parents, some of you might not, but there seems to be a responsibility that you feel for the people around you as well. Potentially even future children or future people in your life. So you might be single and trying to like get a house for someone eventually to move into with you. And that person isn't in your life yet. I don't know. But it does seem like you have been putting your mind's energy, you've been racing towards materializing things in this world, making sure your resources are protected. And now you are seeing things move. So maybe you're starting to see your money as being like you're saving up more and more. You're being able to relax a little bit in regards to your resources. With the Two of Staffs though over here on its head, the Two of Staffs or the Two of Wands speaks about weighing out two different options. You kind of are looking to decide and where you're going. What's the next step? With the card being on its head in your reading now, to me I feel like you are potentially not able to make a decision. You are stuck. You're seeing so many things happening, but there is something that you are not making a decision on that you know will lead you to a future that will lead to this future of burnout. There is a decision that you have to look at. There are things you need to weigh out, options you need to weigh out, and you've been kind of avoiding it in a way. But that might be leading you to the burnout that you see in your future. Okay? And I don't want to scare any of you. This could be completely fine. But it does seem like you are needing a break because there's a lot of stuff going on and something is holding you back. And it might be the responsibility that you feel like you have a lot of responsibility, a lot of people who believe in you and who you have to be responsible for. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see what comes up as well. A few more cards. I do want to say this is going to be a bit of a shorter reading. The idea is just to kind of allow you to listen to something that you can resonate with, and that you can resonate with at this point in time and in your current situation. I don't want to get too deep into it. It is more of a reassurance for you to trust your intuition ultimately. So let's see. Oh, your heart. Okay, well that's interesting. So we have 3, which are for some reason upright, even though I shuffled this. And it shouldn't be, but let's see. We have, let's do this. Yes, like that. Okay. So we're going to take them. We have a new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. Your commitment is being tested. And hard work is paying off. Yeah, I can see you've been putting a lot of hard work in. And with all these things happening right now, it's not just your hard work that has gotten you to this point. It is also a lot of luck that you've been potentially following. Maybe you got a lucky thing that happened to you, an opportunity that came up, and you've been following that opportunity up, and that's how more opportunities have come up. So I feel like you might be worried to stop, to take a break, because what if the momentum goes away? But what also might be coming up in relation to this one, with the commitment being tested, you might feel like you're being tested towards your commitment if you take a break. If you take a break, you don't really care about it. And I do feel like for some of you, this might be relating to a relationship, where if you take a break, it's almost like you're accepting that the commitment is over. Does that make sense? But for some of you, maybe that's something that would be helpful for you and would help you on this journey. But yeah, I think ultimately for you, pal, I need you to take a step back if you can. At least figure out, go within and see how that makes you feel, the idea of taking a break. What is scary about it? And also here, what are these 2 options that you can't look at or you can't decide between? Well, that is for you to find out, though. We're not gonna be looking into it too much. Okay. I have to, right? I was just gonna put the cards away, but pal 2, we're gonna make an exception, because this really needs to be heard by you, okay? As you see, it just came jumping out. I was gonna put them away, and they told me don't. So here we go. The Son of Cups. Okay, someone who is emotionally available and fulfilled. The Sun, again, we had here the Son of Swords. Okay. Maybe you feel like you have to choose. Maybe you feel like you have to choose between your rational side, who's trying to achieve goals and tick things off your list, and the part of you who wants to be in a loving, committed relationship. I feel like for some of you this is going to resonate very, very much. But there seems to be like you feel like you can't do both, and you have to decide where to go. And you're trying to hold up all of this between your hands, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to be burned out because of it. Or potentially break one or the other momentum as you're scared of, as it seems. But yeah, I hope that made sense. I'm sure it did to whoever needed to hear it. But we're going to finish this reading with a few messages. If you've been here before, I love to finish my readings like this, just picking you a few handwritten messages, just seeing what comes up for you, pal, too. Okay, that's already 3. This one is not for you. I don't know what's in there. I just felt like it was not this one you needed to see. This one you do need to see. Okay. Tarot is really all about intuition. It is, for me, it's the practice of intuition, trusting that you do know. You do know what to say, what's coming, and you know as well. I think all of this has made sense to you so far, or most of it probably. And you might have known what I was talking about here when I first mentioned it, but you just didn't want to look at it until I got this card out. And now you might still not want to look at it. And that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, let's see what last messages I have for you. Right, okay, look, that makes a lot of sense, pal, too. Don't postpone your happiness into the future. Find happiness in the now instead. Yes, you have been putting in so much work to make your future better, right? You came from a place where you're like determined to get shit done, to get to a place where things are happening. And now things are happening, but it might be taking you away from another part of yourself that you have been, specifically your emotions, which you have been subduing in the effort of getting more things done and getting your brain to be doing the work, not your heart. And maybe by doing that, you can acknowledge within yourself that there's been happiness missing. But it's okay because you're working towards a goal, right? When I get this goal, when I reach this, that's when I'll be happy. That's when life's going to be good. And that's going to keep you stuck. That's going to lead you there. Because you're going to be the donkey running after the carrot that is on a string. Have you played? I don't know if it's in Minecraft, but I had anyway, there's a game, okay? And you have a carrot on a stick and you're sitting on a donkey, and that donkey will walk forever as long as the carrot is in front of it, okay? And that is you, but you're not a video game character. I mean, maybe, but theoretically or not, your body has limitations and you can only do so much, and your mind has limitations, and you're not allowing your mind to rest, okay? You need to rest, my friend, please. Peace resides within. Maybe some meditation, maybe some time alone. I think you've always strived towards happiness by changing everything around you, but have you stopped to listen to what's within? Last one. Someone needs your support right now. Yeah, and I think that's what I was feeling with the Malika as well. This idea that you are needed, okay? And that's why you feel so much pressure to keep this up. But do you know who needs you too? The someone is you as well. You need yourself. You need to give yourself this breather. Things are moving and they will continue to move. But the way things are moving right now, the direction it is heading, is going to cause you more distress in the long run. If you embrace feeling uncomfortable now, taking a rest, it might save you from the discomfort that comes from complete burnout. Anywho, this has been a long one. Pile 2, I need to stop. Friend, I hope this was helpful. I hope you made it all the way through. And if you did, thank you so much. And I hope to see you again soon. Have a great one and take care of yourself. Bye. Hello and welcome there, Pile 3. So today we're going to look into what's going on. Where are you at? Where did you come from? Where did you go? And I've made this joke twice already and I'm going to do it again. Cotton Eye Joe. There you go. So the card you picked is going to represent your present, and we're now going to pick 2 more for the past and the future. All my cards are pre-shuffled, just so you know. So let's see, for pile 3. Pile 3. I'm really curious because pile 1 was quite positive, things are looking really good. And pile 2 as well, but pile 2 was struggling to breathe and take a break. They're feeling a lot of pressure. So I'm really curious to see pile 3. Okay, what is going on with you? Let's see. We're gonna keep it more of a not superficial level, but I'm sure I'm hopeful. And when it comes to tarot, if it resonates, it's meant for you, and if it doesn't, it's not. Leave it. So I'm sure whoever is here listening to me right now knows that that's the message they need to get. Anyway, 8 of coins we've got in the present. Okay, wow. Wow, that's a very... Look how we got so many girls. We've got some feminine energy in this deck. Hello, fellow womans. And maybe men too. Feminine energy is within all of us, just as male energy. But that's exciting. Look at all the beautiful hair. Maybe you are very proud of your hair. Maybe your hair is something you are connected to a lot. And no, I'm just saying that because it was the first thing I noticed of all the 3 cards. The beautiful hair all of these women have. But let's see. You've got the 8 of Coins. The 8 of Coins, I should say this is the Tarot of the Divine, which has fairy tales from all over the world. The 8 of Coins represents, I think it's a German fairy tale, where these are her brothers and they got like transformed into swans. She has to do a lot of hard labor to get them to be transformed back. So that's her doing a lot of work. The 8 of Coins speaks of someone who's been working hard and has mastered their craft in a way. But in this context, I feel like specifically you being drawn to this deck and it coming out in this deck, there is a bit of pain there. Like you might have to have made some sacrifices to get to the place you are in now. I feel like, or maybe you're physically noticing like pains in your body from the work you've been doing. Either way, you're very, very diligent and you've got very much led at the moment, it seems like, from a sense of having a goal and wanting to achieve that. And I think this comes from where you've been before, which is Strength in reverse. I mean, Strength card is pretty self-explanatory. It is someone who is strong, someone who believes in their strength and in their abilities, and who can measure up to other things and people they believe to be strong. So in this case, we have a little crocodile / lion / bear creature. There is a story to this. I could look it up. If you want me to, let me know. I'll tell you. But so she is trusting in her own strength enough to actually go heads on against a creature who is very strong themselves, and they respect her for it. They trust. In the original, you have a lion and a woman. But this is on its head. So this is speaking of a lack of strength, the way I read it. Or not trusting in your strength, not seeing that you have it. So you might have come from a place of feeling a bit insecure about what your abilities are and the way you what you can achieve in this world is what I'm seeing. With the 8 of Coins in your present, you've reached a point where you've been putting a lot of fucking effort in. Sorry for the swearing. You've been putting in a lot of effort. And you've already achieved so much, but you're still not in this place where you feel like you deserve what you have. Why? Because you don't think you're strong enough to be where you are at right now. Oh, it must have been because of other things. It must have been just a lucky coincidence. No, this is you. This is you being strong. I was going to swear again. Maybe you swear a lot. I know I do. I try not to in the readings though. But it's coming up. But you are very strong, okay? And you've been working really, really hard. And you've got a goal and you're going for it. And that is strength. I feel like you've got very high expectations of yourself and ideas of what you should be doing, how you should be doing it. And that is kind of keeping you in this place of not embracing your true nature, which is this strong, independent woman, okay? And why am I saying this? Because, again, you don't have to be a woman, but we are moving towards queen energy. The queen is the wise protector of power, specifically. The wands speak of power. They are the spark. The wands are the fire element. They are the spark that lights the flame. The queen has understood her power. She has understood what she can do in this world, and she will use her power when it's needed, how it's needed. And she can, that's it. Okay, I get it. All right. So you're coming from a place where you didn't believe you had it in you to achieve certain things. So you overcompensate in the now to try and do so much just to make sure that you make her believe that you can actually do it. Or kind of, do you know what I mean? But you're heading towards a future where you know what you can do, and therefore you can choose to put your power and your energy into things way more consciously. You won't feel the need to take on every single thing that comes up, because you know that's not going to serve you. That's not going to serve anyone else. You need to be at your best to be able to help people. And that stuff's coming up more. You're going to gain more of that confidence, girly, and I'm so proud of you. Amazing. Let's get a few more cards. This has been so nice. I just want to say I'm so grateful for you, and if you're listening to this. Like, I've been doing this for 15 years, okay? And I've been scared shitless to show people what I do. I've been hiding it for people for at least 10 of those 15 years, okay? And next week I'm about to do something I'm very scared of. I'm going to be doing a market for the first time, and actually engaging with people when it comes to this, and I'm very scared. But you guys, you got to face the fear. You got to show yourself how you're strong by facing these things and by putting the work in, but then also knowing when to take a break. Like, after this I'm going to take a break. I need to go chill. But yeah, I felt called to go on a little tangent there. I hope it resonated to some of you. But we'll see. What are the connecting energies? What is connecting the past to the present to the past for pile 3? And just on a little side note, I don't believe time to be linear. I've said this in the other readings as well, just because in regards to what we're looking at today, I find it very important for you to understand that it is not one or the other. It's not black or white. You're here, you're there, but it's all connected. This is a journey you're going through. And if you understand all the different parts of it, you'll be way better at navigating through it. Imagine if you've studied a map before actually making your way through that terrain. It's going to be a big difference, isn't it? Compared to you just going in and being like, I don't know what's happening. Even if you have the idea of where you want to go, if you don't actually know the path you're going to be walking, it's going to be much more difficult. It might take longer, okay? But let's see, what is connecting all of this together? Oh, death in reverse. Interesting. 5 of coins. Wow. Yep. Okay. So the death card, people tend to get a bit scared of it. But honestly, it's one of the best cards you can get, because it means you are leaving things behind that do not serve you. You are moving on to a new way of being. A rebirth is ahead. With it being on its head though, here, connecting the past and the present, you might have been in this sense of just being still, like stagnation basically. With death being equal to rebirth, there's change happening, right? But you might have been just feeling like you're in this state of death with nothing coming. And because of that, because it's the lack of belief and strength that has been keeping you stuck in this senselessness, okay? And it's you know how in the Bible, for example, and please don't quote me on this, it's just coming into my mind. I haven't thought about this in ages. But once he's dead, right, it takes him 3 days to come back. And that's this moment of like things being dealt with and spiritual stuff, whatever. But in those 3 days, nothing's really happening, seemingly. And I feel like you've been feeling this sense of like stuckness. After death, there's nothing coming for a while. And that got you moving towards putting in more effort. You're like, fuck this. Here we go again with the swearing, but fuck this. We're going to do what we got to do to get where we want to go. And that is, like, I feel like by you creating things and doing this work, even though you don't believe you can do it, it's actually causing you to see that you can. Like you always could, but you're starting to see that more. And that's moving you ahead. But yeah, it was this feeling of stuckness, of stagnation that was keeping you in this sense of, that got you to the place now in time. Sorry, I'm just going round in circles at this point, but let's move on. The Five of Coins speaks about not having enough financially, materially in this world. Being literally, like you can see, this is the girl, again, these are all fairy tales, right? This is the girl with the matches who is basically freezing to death, and she's using the last of her matches. You can see them here, the ones she's already used, to just keep warm because, that's the only thing keeping her to life. She has nothing to her name. She cannot just go inside and buy food or buy new clothes. She doesn't have anything. And the fear of being destitute and not having means to take care of yourself might be the encouragement you need to actually make sure that you take care of yourself in regards to how much effort you're putting in. Because maybe you're overdoing it in some parts and then neglecting something else. Whatever it is, this fear of losing everything you have seems to be a prevalent force in moving you to this Queen of Wands, to this womanly power of trusting that you've got it. Maybe you'll have to go through something like that to then realize that you are still okay on the other end. Alrighty. But now, pile 3, let's get some oracle cards for you. These are all pre-shuffled, by the way. So let's see. For pile 3, 3 messages. Pile 3. I like the number 3. It's a nice number. Oh my, this is not super symmetrical. That I do not like, but we'll survive now, won't we? So, pile 3, for you the messages coming through with the oracle. Believe in the impossible. Yeah. A time for healing. Communication is key. Okay. This is some inner child stuff that you need to face. Wow. Okay, wow, I just got goosebumps, pile 3. And I'm feeling a bit like I'm gonna cry, but you might have known what it is to not have enough when you were a kid. Okay? And feeling that, knowing that has led to you putting in so much effort all the time to your own detriment to a point as well. Don't forget, she's like bleeding. Her hands are bleeding from all the work she's doing, right? But she's mastered it. But to what price? But yeah, I do feel like this is some inner child work that is being called of you. Oh, sorry. You couldn't see that, could you? So sorry. Time for healing. It seems like for you, achieving this place of feeling good enough, being strong enough has always been impossible to achieve. But you are heading towards it, and you need to believe that you can, because you've already done it. Like, you've done it. You're just not recognizing all the hard work you're putting in. I think it's from this place of fearing what life would be like. That's it. Fearing what life would be like if you lost it all. You've been putting so much effort in and making sure you take every opportunity that comes your way, because what if there's none tomorrow and I'll be destitute and left in this space of like just lack, materially speaking specifically. And again, for some of you, this might be something that you've gone through in life, maybe even in childhood. With this being a little girl, I feel like for some of you, this might really be a childhood wound that you need to look into. And this is where the communication is key part comes in. This card came out, I think it was in pile 1 as well, where we had the new moon and the full moon in Gemini. So maybe that's a reading you feel called to look into. But I do believe that in this context, we're talking about communication with yourself as much as with other people. But I think with you, pile 3, it's about communicating to yourself and figuring out what's going on within. But yeah, there's just some childhood wound. There's some wounds, some fears that are keeping you in this place where you have achieved a lot. Like, you can, materialistically speaking, you are fine. You just don't feel like you are. You feel like you're still here where you don't have anything. Once you realize that you are actually in a place in time where you've accumulated wealth in a way that is gonna keep you safe, okay? You're gonna be fine. That's when you are able to step back and say, okay, my energy is only needed here now and not over there, because then I cannot be here 100%. And trying to figure this out, trying to juggle this, which is also communicating within yourself and with yourself and others as to where you can put your energy. Really feel like for you, Pal 3, that is the next chapter of your life. That is where you're heading, working on that. And believing that you can do it. You can do it, Pal 3. Woo, woo, woo. Last little ditty, friends. We already know. Sorry, I just opened it off camera, but if you've been here before, we do messages. Wait, if you've not been here before, we do messages at the end that I wrote. And if you have, then you already know. Let us get the mandatory little bye-bye for you, my friend. Oh, you're doing well, Pi 3. Really, really, really well. You're very, very strong. And you've shown that through your resilience, but you need to realize that you are more than just your resilience. That is not what's making you worthy, okay? Compromise is called for. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's where we're heading, so we're going to put it over here. The idea of understanding where to put your energy. You need to, it can't be black and white. You do it here, you don't do it. It needs to be a bit more, how do I say it? There needs to be more thought behind it. Sorry, this just keeps closing. But yeah, you need to find more compromise where you're looking specifically at your needs. So compromise different needs. Your need for financial wealth and safety is compromising your need for emotional fulfillment and actual satisfaction, because you're so focused on it. So there needs to be a compromise in regards to where you're putting your energy in. Let's see. Open your eyes to societal and cultural illusion. I really feel this one today. Work was working, not in the greatest way today, and I really feel this one, honestly. It is all an illusion. Whoever told you, we've all been told this story, right? But whoever told you that if you get a job, if you do it all right and you follow this path, then you'll be safe and you'll be fine. It's a lie. Like, you can say this can help you in that direction and it can make things more likely, like feeling safe and having material success. But it's not a fact, and what we are sold are facts, okay? But yeah, you need to wake up to that. Okay, last message. Maybe your plans need reviewing. Yes, again, you're doing a lot. And maybe Pile 2 is for you too, man. If you feel called to listen to Pile 2, do it, because that was all about like finding a moment to take a break and just breathe, okay? Anywho, I need to take a break. I've been sitting here, I'm checking my audio recording. It's been over an hour. I'm gonna go chill out now. It is Friday. I deserve it. You deserve it. Have a great day whenever you listen to this. And take care of yourself, Pile 3. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Well, 2 hands. Bye-bye.